Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Brittany, and I'm all bossed up, and I am so excited about this series, Success is a Mindset, because it really is. I mean, I think about everything that you have to do pretty much in life, you have to be focused to get it done. And that's what this workshop is all about. That's what I discuss in the workshop. Um, I don't know why I keep calling it a workshop when it's really technically a series, but I guess it's a workshop. If you want to take notes, you can definitely do that. I'm going to go ahead and get started right away because I want this to only last 30 minutes and for everyone to be able to ask questions if they like at the end. Also, be sure to give this video a like or a thumbs up, on your way out. Hi, C. So just let me know that, I don't know, I guess if you like this kind of content, let me know by hitting the thumbs up. If you want to see something different or a different format, just let me know. I love suggestions. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get right into it. So this workshop is all about success being a mindset, but also about you keeping focus. So this shot that you see here right here, or this slide that's on the screen right now, is about catching yourself when you are straying. Now, I noticed yesterday all day I strayed. Okay, I was on this new app called Clubhouse. If you're not familiar with it, it's just basically where it's different rooms and they have different topics and they talk about things like it could be a reseller chat, it could be wealth building workshop. Hey, Nikki. It could be it's all different assortment of different types of rooms you can get into and talk about different topics, but you can't see anybody, but you can see the people that are in the room. Well, I stayed on the Clubhouse app pretty much all day. I literally had it on in the background. I worked out yesterday with it in the background, found myself trying to talk during my workout, stopping what I'm doing to try to comment on something that somebody said. And then eventually I was in that room for so long, I became a moderator, so I kind of just stayed in there for quite some time. And that's what kind of got me off track yesterday because I just felt so drained. I had so much stuff to do and I did not get all of my stuff done. But that's why we have new days. And so that's why I say catch yourself whenever you do get off track. You know what I mean? Realize that something is stopping you from getting to your goal and check yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I need to check myself today. We will not enter Clubhouse until I get my stuff done, period. You know what I mean? So, okay, so this particular slide right here is on checking yourself. I'm going to have to say, stop browsing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the number one thing you can stop doing. And I'm not talking about just on your phone. I'm talking about on your phone, on your computer. Stop looking at every doggone thing when you go in the store, because I do that too. I can't go in Walmart without picking up something extra. Everything that's on the stack basis, everything that's set up in the aisles while you're waiting. I'm one of those people that will grab that stuff. But I think it's better to be intentional when you get ready to go to the store or whatever you're doing when you get online. You got to stay focused. You got to say, okay, I'm getting on here so I can order X, Y, and Z. That's it. Don't click on the next link down. Don't click on the suggestions. Don't get anything else, because that's what ends up getting you off track. And then you start wasting time and you can't get everything done. So I have to say, stop saying yes. The reason why I said stop saying yes is because I'm the type of person that wants to help everybody. So I will say yes. If somebody's like, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? Then I will try to help everybody. And then at some point, now I'm feeling some type of way because I didn't help everybody, but I didn't get what I should be working on done. So if that makes sense. So I'm saying, stop saying yes, you'll be in this group or you'll do this chat or whatever it is. If it messes or interferes with your schedule and it isn't on track, if it's not on track or in line with what you're trying to focus on, then don't do it, sis. You know what I mean? Just take a minute and actually think about it. You don't necessarily have to just say no right away, but you can say, let me think about it and make sure that's going to work with, especially if it's reoccurring. You know what I mean? Definitely take the time to think about if you want to indulge in that activity regularly. So that's what I said. Stop doing everything they want you to do, because a lot of people have a lot of people pulling on them. My mom is like that for sure. Like, brother will call and say, hey, can you do this? Can you pick me up from over here? I locked my keys in the car. He done locked his keys in the car 3 times. Not really something that she should have to do, but I do understand, I understand, but you just have to do what you got to do for yourself, because some days it's like one thing after the next. One thing will happen, and then here comes something else, and then here comes something else. That's why I say stop doing what they want you to do and think about what you actually need. And is this in line with what I'm trying to do right now? And have I gotten my number 1 priorities for today done before I run to their rescue? And then I said, stop listening to everyone's complaints. Same thing. If you, at some point when I was sitting in the room, like towards the end of the chat, like when we finally closed out the room, as a matter of fact, the room that I was in on Clubhouse yesterday, I closed it out because it kind of fizzed out after a certain person kept talking about a topic that just shouldn't have ran on. It's not that we don't want to talk about it, but it was just like a topic. Like, I think she was talking about like how somebody put in a case on her, and she was upset about the case situation. It was just irritating, because she felt like, why should she give her a 2-star feedback? You know what I mean? Like, or whatever. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but anyway, the point is it started to make the conversation kind of flow left. And, so it was like, we really wanted to try to talk about something more, I don't know, bright, or just like a regular question that somebody had. So if you have a complaint, you got to be careful about complaining about everything. But there was something else that somebody said in one of the other chats I was in when we had the chat, it's okay to be okay. One of the girls said, when you're getting ready to go to somebody, and I think I forgot to do this myself, or I forget to do this, ask them if they're okay with whatever you're getting ready to tell them. Like, if you have something to say and it might be negative, or it might affect them in a negative way, then maybe ask them, if they're okay. Figure out how they're doing, what mood they're in, so you don't put your junk on them, because you never know. It could have just been one thing after the next for them, and now you coming along with your stuff. You know what I'm saying? So try to be mindful of that. Like, just, think about what they could be going through and be mindful of it. So this next slide says, don't lose yourself. I mean, sometimes when you get caught up with everything else that's going on, you start to feel some type of way. I'm saying don't lose yourself in everything that you're going on, because what ends up happening is, you got to prioritize, because you got to spend, you need to spend time with your family. Friends is important. Making connections is important. So you have to figure out how to prioritize in order to get all of those things done. And I mean, some days I fall short. I may not get in a chat that day, or I may not say hi to a friend one day, or, like today I had to avoid getting on Instagram to get my listings done. I got all of my work done. You know what I mean? Like, as far as listing is concerned, I got them all up. So I'm happy about that. But at the same time, it's about a balance. So at some point I did get in there and I was able to get in the chat. I just wasn't able to do it early on, because I'm the type of person that once I get in the chat, I'm going, and I'm chatting and talking and putting comments on people's posts. And next thing you know, now I'm off track. So the next slide is all about, where's your quality of life? How can you make sure you have a better quality of life? I'm going to tell you, it's all about the focus, because for me personally, if I am focused, then that means I must be making progress. And when I'm making progress, I'm so much happier when I'm making some kind of progress. That's why yesterday I'm like, okay, I didn't get my main goal, which was to really list yesterday. And I only got a few listings up yesterday, like 3-4 listings yesterday. And then I finished those, and then I did my listings for today as well. So, when you make that progress, or you set a goal and you make it, then that's what the focus is all about. Like that keeps you even more focused, because then you're going to want to do that again and meet that goal the second time around. Hey, Terry. Okay, so look, my finger is just going too fast, y'all. So meditation. I talked about this, I think, in another room with Terry the other day, but just taking a minute. I normally do this in the mornings. I will take a minute out, just literally a minute. Like if I don't feel like I have a whole lot of time and I'm running behind or whatever the case may be, you always have 60 seconds where you could just close your eyes and relax and think about something relaxing, or don't think about nothing. Try not to think about anything so that way you can just be in peace, or go outside and do it and just listen, to the leaves, the air, it just seems to help me to clear my mind so that way I can avoid some of the distractions that happens during the day. Your phone gets to dinging as soon as everything gets to going. For me, meditation is easier in the morning than it is during the day. But sometimes whenever I take my breaks, which if you're not taking breaks, you should definitely take a break during your day. Don't work all day, because I used to just work all day, and then I'll bring like my food in the in the office with me. Like I'll bring a salad or something in here and keep on working and eating and working and doing everything. But then your mind never gets an opportunity to rest and recharge. You actually need those breaks, not just at night when it's time to go to bed. You need to rest and recharge even during the day. Like you can only focus for so long. You have to know your limits personally. But me, for personally, I can't sit anywhere for longer than a couple of hours. After that, I need to get up, shake it off, something. I need to go do something else. So I usually will just step outside of the office and, go sit down on the couch and lay my head back or something. Like I just need to have some kind of relaxation, and it's good to get out of the environment. Like if you are working in your office, get away from that scene or that setting, or go take a walk or something like that. It does help you to recharge and reset. We all need that. So next slide here is about making fewer decisions, because when you make fewer decisions, your mind doesn't have to vacillate in between this, that. Is like going all over the place all day, especially if you don't have any direction or you don't have a specific purpose or goal. Your focus will get off track if you're trying to make too many decisions all day long. Sometimes what happens is you got so many decisions to make, or so many things you're trying to do, that you don't get anything done because you just got too much going on. You know what I'm saying? Like it causes you to be mentally fatigued. And then it's a willpower killer, because the reason why you're not getting anything done is because you feel like you overwhelmed with so many things that you have to do. And then you start on one thing, and then you start doing something else, and then you start doing something else, and then you start scrolling on your phone, and and it just goes on. And then you're not actually getting anything done because you're too busy thinking about so many things to do. You need to narrow that down and not make so many decisions today. Let's write down our top 5 or our top 3 and get those done one by one. Focus on each one at one time. It's actually quicker than multitasking. So like if you're doing one task, even if it's okay, I'm gonna listen to the chat in the background, or I'm gonna listen to Clubhouse in the background, your mind mentally cannot actually give 100% to both. You have to kind of pick. If you want to be faster, you want to be quicker, the most highly effective people, I've been reading books, this is one of the techniques that they do. It's called deep focus. You know what I mean? Like they actually focus on one thing at a time, because when you are, it's less effective in the long run. This slide just says it's less effective in the long run to focus on a whole bunch of things at one time, or to make a whole bunch of decisions every single day, to do all this scrolling and all of this all the time. So I just think, the phone situation definitely has to be limited, for me at least, because it's less effective. Because over time, you keep on multitasking and you keep on doing this, your brain continues to do exactly that. So when it's time to actually focus on one task, like you say you're writing a book, or I don't know, some people can list and it's not that serious to them. But for me, I like to listen to music when I list, but I listen to music without lyrics on purpose, just something relaxing, because it seems to calm me down. I don't know. I like the hip hop jazz or something like that. That's like relaxing, so that I can work and I'm not feeling stressed or anything like that, or I'm not trying to listen to something on my phone and then I'm trying to jump into conversations on Clubhouse or whatever. I just like to try to it's better if you can focus on one thing. That way you're more effective and you're more aware. You're not going to make mistakes. Because I know when I was going back through my listings, even though I did choose to list with just the music today, I didn't listen to any chats while I was listening today. I still made a couple of mistakes. So I'm like, if I made a couple of mistakes while, just regular listening all the way focused, I know if I was trying to listen to a chat and then maybe comment and stuff too, that I definitely probably would have made more mistakes, and I'm not going to get as much, I'm trying to get things done faster too, because I know I can list faster. That's one of my goals. I'm trying not to be so slow. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm extremely slow at listing. I feel like I take too long. Like, I take, I think about 10 minutes or so to do a listing, like from start to finish. That's from photograph to put it in a spreadsheet, to put it into eBay, and then to cross list. So the whole process is about 10 minutes per listing. I could do 5 minutes once it's photographed and put into the computer, because then I got to transfer the pictures to the computer, make sure that they're edited, because all of my pictures I'm just extra. So I really need to figure out how to make that process easier. But I feel like one thing that I can definitely do is continue to have that period or blocked off time, which was something I talked about last week, where you block off a certain amount of time to get a specific task done. Okay, so this one is get more done when you deep focus, which is what I was just basically talking about. Is 20 to 40% more productive, or you will be 20 to 40% more productive when you are in deep focus. So anytime you take the time to just focus on one task at a time, that's when you're in deep focus, and you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get a whole lot more done. Terry says, great job on those mini breaks. I seem to only get mental breaks when working out. That's true, because normally I said, you know what, when I was listening to Clubhouse yesterday while I was working out and I stopped like 2 times to try to say something, that was so dumb. I'm like, I need to just go ahead and just do my workout, so that, because that's one of the things that, releases endorphins. It just makes me feel better. So I think I really need to just be in that moment. I need to practice that anyways. I get a phone call from my significant other. I need to try to be in that moment and not be packing orders or doing something else, if at all possible, or calling back when I do have time. You know what I mean? So that way I'm not constantly going back and forth in between tasks too, because the brain doesn't like to do that. It's like, okay, wait a minute, let me reset. And every time it has to reset, you're working harder. Your brain is having to work harder because you went from one task and now you start in that one, and it just doesn't work that well. So anyways, cut the distractions for good. So this slide right here is talking about how you should just, stop. Basically, I'm gonna read this, what it says. It says the inability to focus on one thing at a time leads to more inability to complete one thing at a time. So the more you continue to multitask and give 20, 80, 60, 40, how much ever percentages you're giving to whatever task it is, the more you're going to get of that. You're not going to be able to focus properly when it's really time and you really need this time to focus in and hone in on something. Your brain's so conditioned to multitask all the time, you'll find yourself doing that. You'll find yourself picking up your phone. You'll find yourself, like, literally right now, my phone is on airplane mode, because I was like, if it lights up, then I'm immediate, like, it's like light up response. You know what I mean? And so I have to get better at leaving my phone alone or turning it off or putting it in another room or something when I decide that I need to be in a state of deep focus. So this next slide says, be intentional. I know a lot of people say this, but I mean, I really mean it. I really mean it. Like, when you get ready to go, like, think about everything that you have to accomplish that day. And then when you're thinking about that, think about what your intention is by doing this. Okay. And then think about how that fits into your overall goal or your overall mission. And the thing that gets me the most, that's why I put it on here again. Stop browsing, because I do this a lot. That's the main thing that gets me off focus, which is why I could not get on Instagram. I would not allow myself to hit Instagram up until I hit that first goal. And I was like, you're going to get these listings up and you're not going to browse. We're not going to do that, because every time, like if I'd be like, okay, I'm going to get on here to send a message to Terry, or I'm going to send a message to so-and-so, or I'm just going to say hi to the girls in the chat, then it always turns into something else. So I was like, no, I'm just not going to pick it up until it's time to get on there. I'm learning that there's a time for everything. So for me, in order to stop myself, that's what I have to do. And then I put underneath that and practice saying no first. So basically, like if somebody wants you to do something, or even say no to yourself, say you want to get a new computer or you want to make a major purchase, especially, say no to yourself first and give yourself maybe a couple of hours, or give yourself, because you might actually say, oh, I can do that, or I can do that. Maybe you say, let me make sure this is for me first, because this will help you, because then you won't get to the next day, or you won't start making these decisions. And then after the fact, dang, I thought I was going to be able to do it. And now I've committed, and you feel like you have to do something now. Now you've done told this person you're going to be here. Now you got this, and everything is stacked up. And now you feeling that feeling of being overwhelmed. So I'm like, and then also just with decisions, like, does this decision line up with what I'm trying to do or what I'm focused on right now? Basically, like, is it in line with my overall goal and purpose? How is this going to help them? How is this going to help the community, or whatever the situation is? Just whatever you have going on, is that going to be of some kind of benefit to you in one way or another, or helping others? That's usually how I look at it, and try to practice saying no first, because I will be honest, I will say yes more than I'm going to say no. So I really think about saying no, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to start doing that a little bit more. Or maybe you don't commit right away. It's not necessarily that you're saying no straight up, but just don't commit right away. So, and we got the recap. Keep things simple. You know what I mean? I think I'm all about, like, right now, I need simplicity. There's a book that I'm thinking about reading that says, I think it's by Gary Keller, I think. The One Thing, I think is what it's called, The One Thing, or something like that. But anyways, I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm looking forward to it, because I'm one of those types of people that will try to get 60 things done in a day, and that has just not been working. Ever since I lowered that down to like a top 3, it's been so much better, and I get all 3 of those targeted things done, and then the rest of it, whatever doesn't get done, it just has to go to the next day. But so that's what I'm saying about, like, try to have more simplicity in your life, because, like I said, the fewer decisions that you have to make, you're going to be so much more calm. Because I know today I did not get really on Clubhouse that much. I did get on there, but I did it like when I went to go pick my daughter up from school. And, like I did it at times where I wasn't trying to focus on my other things that I had to get done. Let's just put it like that. So not being on there and not being on Instagram all day definitely helped to, like, clear my mind. Like, I just was able to focus on what I needed to focus on, and that's it. And it just seemed like my day was just so much more stress-free. Like, it just was a little less stressful, because I didn't have to make decisions. Because when you're scrolling, you have to say, yes, I'm gonna like that, no, I'm not gonna like that, or yes, I'm going to go into this folder and say hi to this person, or I'm going to post this person's stuff, or whatever you're going to do. You have to make decisions in there. And so I think if you could have like a time period or time periods, pockets where you go in there, do what you got to do, be intentional on what you're doing. If you're getting ready to do a post on Instagram, I like to always at least spend 15 to 20 minutes engaging first. Then after I engage, then I put my post up. After I put my post up, then I'm engaging again. So I know to do an Instagram post for me, it's going to take me somewhere around 45 minutes because I'm doing at least 15 minutes before, then I'm going to post it. That takes time because I got to write stuff in the list, like, or in the post. And then after that, then I'm going to go ahead and do some talking or engaging or whatever. And I try to limit it to an hour max on one post. That's just one post. And so I'm like, imagine if I was doing 2 or 3 posts a day, like for the people that do 2 or 3 posts a day, each post actually is thought out. If you look at what it says underneath the post, you have to take time to think about what you're going to say. I mean, I'm intentional with my posts. You know what I mean? Like, I want for that to, I don't know, matter. And I think about what I'm going to say. I don't just put whatever out there. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes what I've been trying to do with Instagram too is like build a couple of ideas or posts a couple days in advance. Or I have like this folder where I keep my ideas and stuff, and I put them in there. And that way, if I don't really have anything that I feel like I want to put up for that particular day, because I like to post in the moment. Sometimes I'll just post something that I'm actually doing. If I'm listening or whatever I'm doing, I might post that, or I'll just post it to my stories or something like that. But anyway, it's important to have that time to deep focus, because when you have major projects to get done, like, for example, I want to eventually write an ebook. Okay, I'm not 100% sold on what it's going to be on. It might be eBay, but I'm not 100% sure on that yet. So, but I want to do an ebook. So that's going to cause me to need to be deeply focused in order to get it written. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I need to be practicing these things right now. They're serious. You know what I mean? Like, as if I don't know how to do that, then I'm going to have a hard time getting this book wrote. And I think breaking it down and saying, okay, I'm going to write for so long each day is a good idea for somebody like me. I'm not going to crunch out a book. Probably, I've never done a book, so I really can tell you how long it would take me. But I think when it comes to writing a book, most people write that, in increments. Obviously, they're not just going to sit down an entire day, write a book, most people, So I think it would be better for me to break it up and try to write it in increments, or just spend like an hour each day writing, do that part. So make fewer decisions. And that's going to make your life a lot easier. Like today, I didn't have to make so many decisions, because when I'm listening to somebody on Clubhouse, I'm having to make a decision whether I'm going to respond, whether I'm even going to really be listening to what they're saying, especially if I'm doing something else. Now I'm having to figure out, am I going to keep focusing on what I'm focusing on because I'm actually listening or whatever I'm doing, or am I going to take a minute and listen to this person? Am I going to respond? Am I going to raise my hand? So really, the music was better than listening to like something that I might want to take notes on too. Like somebody will say something, I'll be, ooh, I want to take a note. And then, so it does distract you. It gets you off track. So focus equals progress. I think whenever you're focused, you're focused because you're going to be getting progress. I mean, you're going to see progress. Let's just put it like that. So don't lose yourself in all the stuff that you got to do. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to make it. So let me put up some of these comments real quick before I go, because we got like 28 minutes. I mean, 30 minutes passes by so fast. Oh my God. Yeah. Yes, I've decided going forward to not do YouTube or Clubhouse. You're not going to do YouTube or Clubhouse at all, or you're just not going to do it you're going to do it at specific times? You're not going to do your YouTube channel, Terry? Oh, let me see what the comment says. I'm limiting my Clubhouse time from the start. Yeah, me too. I thought about that and I was like, okay, I don't want this to end up wasting my time. Yeah, me too. I have several projects going on as well. And Nikki, I saw too, she said she's learning to say no. Me too. But I mean, I got so much stuff going on too. That's why I said this focus thing for me is so serious, because if I don't, I know that I won't get there. And I feel like 2021 is actually my season. So whatever it is that's getting ready to come about and whatever opportunities there are, I just want to be ready when the opportunity presents itself. And sometimes an opportunity is a problem. Somebody's having a problem with this or a problem with that. You come along with the solution. You know what I mean? Like that could be that could be you turning the corner and pivoting and doing something major. Yeah, she said no is a complete sentence. I remember I asked C about I was asking C about something the other day in the chat, and then I thought she was saying no. I was like, oh no, she doesn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, but it didn't actually, like, when people tell me no, I used to like take it personal and be like, oh heifer, this heifer don't want to work with me or whatever. But like now when they say no, that just means that maybe something else, like I ask myself questions. Okay, what else could this mean? What other opportunities could I have? Okay, well, who else is available? Or, like, what else can I do? You know what I mean? Okay, well, they don't want to do it. Okay, Lord, let's think about who we can, who we can get. I put it as it doesn't have to be negative just because that person doesn't want to do something with you. I've asked a couple people to do motivational Mondays. For everybody that's listening, I do motivational Mondays every Monday night at 8 p.m. on Instagram. I interview somebody new. And I've asked a couple people that have not necessarily said no, but they said later. I just haven't done a check back with probably any of them yet. But those were literally in the past couple of weeks that I've asked a couple people that are a little bit, got a few more followers than me. You know what I mean? So maybe they're busy. I don't know. But I never assumed that the no is not a negative. I mean, and they never said no anyways. None of them said no. They just said that they had too much going on right now to engage at the moment, but they would like the opportunity in the future. So Terry says no YouTube or Clubhouse when working out. Sorry for the confusion. Yes. I decided that for me too, for listing. I'm literally from here on out, I need to really just list unless, like, if it's a chat, like I know Tiana and Rhonda, I will watch them because it's in the middle of the day, and that's usually when I'm listing, and I'll just get on the chat, and if I find it to be too disturbing, then I will just turn it down and let it play in the background so they'll get the play, so they'll get those hours for me, the time, the watch hours. So I still just sit on there. If it's starting to be distracting and it's getting me off track, then you just turn it down. You know what I mean? Like, but I still want to show up and try to support everybody as much as I can. I'm a little bit over time, so I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. But you know what? Terry and C and Chandra, thank you so much for joining in. I do appreciate it. I'll be back here next week at the same time, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Or I am actually thinking about switching it over to Clubhouse. If you don't see a link for next week, it won't be on the same topic because the overall topic of the series is success is a mindset. I might even do a guest or something like that. But if I decide to keep it on YouTube, otherwise I'm going to move it starting next week to Clubhouse. That way it gives some other people an opportunity to chime in on some of what I'm saying. But I do thank you so much for joining. Again, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way out. And if you're watching this at a later date, if you like content like this, hit the subscribe and hit the bell notification so you will be notified when I upload a new video. Good night.